Hey everybody, it's Keith from Custom Works, and we're back at you with part 4 of Orange Crush. And today we really made a lot of progress on the car. As you can see, there's an engine in it. And in this video, we really made some serious progress. Like I said, we got the engine, we got the transmission in. We're going to kind of, talk about some of the things that we ran into that were problems. There are some things in here, tips and tricks of things that we do and we use to do these swaps, because we've done a lot of these things. This isn't the first time. Every one we do is a little different, but anyways, a lot of good information in this thing and a really cool car and a lot of cool parts and stuff like that. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy it. All right, so we got the engine and the transmission in, and we had a problem with the actual offset shifter. It was actually assembled so the offset was in the correct direction, but as you can see by the stock shifter, it can mount forward or it can mount backwards. And so because of the offset, we decided that we'd mount it in the direction that the offset was, which put the shifter forward, which didn't fit through the tunnel. So we had to unbolt the shifter, which was kind of a pain, and get it in there. And as you can see, it fits in the console pretty well. But realistically, the factory shifter that comes with the TKX transmission would work just fine. What we usually do is make a spacer here to move the stick over, and that's all you really need to do, and save yourself about $300. So tip of the day. But anyways, the engine's in. And right now, what we need to do is get it up in the air, support the engine here, and then we'll get it up in the air. And we are going to take the stock Crossmember, and I'm going to show you some tricks on how to install that and make it work without having to buy a couple $100 Crossmember. Oh yeah. All right, so we got the engine and the transmission in the car, and now it's time to address the Crossmember. So we mentioned that we were going to use the stock Crossmember, and so here's what we're going to do is we took the front mount off the Crossmember and we cut it down, and we cut it down about 3/4 of an inch, and so then we're left with the stock mount. So if you look at the TKX, TKO transmissions, the mount really is in a similar location as a Muncie or a Turbo 350 or whatever, which they use the same Crossmember. So one of the things that we did was we actually took the mounting holes in the subframe and we moved them back about 1/2 inch. So they're about a hole's distance back from where they originally were, which moves the Crossmember back, which gives us this clearance between the mount and the Crossmember. So when we cut down the Crossmember, make it shorter, it's perfect. So if you look underneath, our holes line up. So we just need to trim this thing up a little bit, and we'll tack weld it in place and make it pretty and put it back in the car. And one of the things that we need to do while we're on this thing is get the engine and transmission angle right. So we use the frame here as our 0 point, or you can use the pinch weld, whatever, as our 0, and then we want the transmission to be somewhere 2.5, 3 degrees down. That way we can have our drive shaft angles and everything as good as possible. And we may even have room in here where you can shim it. So it might be in your best benefit to shim it, make your drive shaft angle down more than you absolutely need. And that way, if you want, you could put a shim in here to raise it up, because one of the things that you'll notice on the
the TKO and the TKX transmission is I think the output height for your slip yoke is actually up higher than it is like a turbo 350 or a Muncie transmission. We can actually check that. We have the Muncie over there, but you can see here's the bottom of the transmission, and the output shaft is pretty high. And so what that does is it changes your angle of your drive shaft as you move it up, which potentially, I guess, could be better for drive shaft angle because these cars are lowered pretty much. So anyways, we'll get this thing all figured out and welded up, and we'll report back to you. All right, so we got the Crossmember modified, got the front mount re-welded on it, and we will show you what we got here. Look at that. Looks like it's supposed to be there. So we got the engine angle, we got it like somewhere between 2.5 and 3 degrees down, which is about right. And we have room, we can shim it up if we want. So anyways, that's the Crossmember. It looks just like it's supposed to, fits just like it's supposed to, and you didn't have to pay $300 for it or buy some kit that comes with too much stuff in it. So all right, so we got the engine in and it looks pretty good. Everything's what's in there. Again, we fought with the shifter a little bit. That was just because have it in the right direction, but anyways, everything else went well. Modified the Crossmember to work. Everything's good. We've got the Holley mounts in there. These are gonna be those cool Holley valve covers. LS3 with a Brian Tooley Stage 2 cam. So anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll have more videos to come.